Hey ladies, I'm your host Rebecca, and my goal is to lead women towards faith and confidence through the bumpy roads of life. Welcome to the She Bold podcast. Hey ladies, and welcome back to the She Bold podcast. Today we're at episode number 15, Love Languages. And like I said, we're going to continue talking about the relationship subject um for the next episode because I got to do what I got to do. So, today I'm going to talk about the importance of not only knowing your love language, but also knowing your partner's love language. If you're not familiar with this term, there's a whole book called The Five Love Languages that explains it all. And you even have a quiz that you can take online to discover your love languages without even having to read the book. But I would suggest to read the book. But to make the definition short, love language is the way that you or your partner prefers to be loved. Like, how do you like to receive love from each other? Love has been created by God, right? But at the end of the day, we cannot ignore the fact that God created all of us differently. Therefore, if we all have different personalities, different gifts, different everything, it only makes sense that we all see and feel love differently. So, for example, in that book, they mentioned the five love languages, which are number one, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is everything that has to do with expressing yourself verbally. So, saying I love you, saying you're beautiful, saying I'm so grateful to have you in my life, or whatever is expressed verbally is words of affirmation. And then you have the acts of services as number two. Acts of service is everything that has to do with actions, pretty much. It doesn't have to be like maybe just, I don't know, cleaning the car for her, or bringing her car, like putting gas in her car, like just something. It can be something small, it can be something big. It's just an act of service. And then number three would be receiving gifts, which is pretty clear. Is buying her gift, buying her flowers, I don't know, taking her out on a trip, or, anything that has to do with giving a gift. So, number four, quality time. And quality time, yes, it can be going out on dates. Yes, it can be, um, you know, going on a road trip, but also something small as just being there next to her, like being in the house, just chilling, watching a movie, just being with each other can be a quality time. And number five is physical touch, which is pretty clear. And if you're not married, then we're talking about hugs, kisses, holding hands, whatever. And then when you're married, we all know what it means. Okay. So when you do the quiz, you found out which ones apply to you. And I would suggest you to make, like I said, make it with your partner also. So that way you can understand each other on another level and change the way that you love each other. Because let's be honest, sometimes in relationship, we do things just because we're told to do so, or because society says that people in a relationship should do that to stay together. And social media is very strong on that. We see a post and it says like, if your man doesn't do that, he doesn't love you. If your man doesn't do that, he's not a real man of God. If your man doesn't do that, the relationship is not gonna stay. Or if the woman doesn't do that, like we all know, we all see it, okay? But before all that, how about you truly get to know each other the right way? Ask each other the right questions and be open to adjustment. Be open to adjustment. Your relationship is between you, him, and God. At the end of the day, having the mindset of not wanting to change is totally wrong and selfish if you think about it. Or simply accepting it just because you don't feel like spending energy or talking about it is also wrong, because one day or another, it's going to catch up to you. If God put you in that relationship, he knew what he was doing. God does not make mistakes, okay? So God did his part by bringing you guys together, and he will remain present. He will stay here. Like, he's not going anywhere. But you and him got to do what you got to do. Work together. When you take the time to express how you want to be loved, it saves you from so much confusion and unnecessary fights. Okay? Knowing how someone wants to be loved makes it also easy for the other person, because then he knows where to put his energy in. Because if you don't express how you feel, if you don't express how you want to be loved, how do you expect him to understand you? Oh, well, you should know me good. You should know me better. Oh, you should know that. No. Like, and sorry if there's any men listening to this, but let's be honest, ladies, okay? Guys can be really um like confused and blind and like not understand things right away if you don't explain to them like slowly and clearly. Like they're not going to read between the lines. Okay, don't expect them to do that. So take the time to express yourself. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what's your love language. Tell him how you like to be loved and be willing to give him the same thing. If your love language is quality time, but instead, all he does is buy you gifts, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still nice, right? But you will still feel a void because it's as if he doesn't know you well enough, right? Like if you have quality time as your love language and all he does is buy you flowers, all he does is buy you jewelry, taking you out on the I don't know, on vacation or whatever, but like you just want to spend time with him and just sit next to him and just be there, but he doesn't understand that, then you're going to feel as if you're not loved the right way, and he's not going to understand it because he's like, well, I've been doing all of that, I've been giving you all of those gifts and like, taking you out on vacation and blah blah blah. Well, vacation is considered quality time, but you get what I mean, you know what I mean? So all of this is useless arguments, is energy wasted, and it could be saved if you just take the time to have that conversation. At the end of the day, conversation is not going to kill you, right? Communication is so important, and knowing yourself first, because you got to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, how are you going to express what you need? How are you going to express what you want? How are you going to express the way that your personality works? You got to know yourself first and then make him know you good. And also take the time to get to know him. It's not just about you, it's not just about the woman. The man needs to be treated correctly also. The man needs to be loved. The man needs to be protected and all of that. Like, yes, you're his helper, but at the end of the day, if the foundation of the house, the leader of the house is not doing well, then how you expect the house to be holding up? It's a teamwork. So whatever you expect out of him, do the same. It's like they say, don't do to others what you wouldn't like to be done to you. Well, I would say do to him what you would like to be done to you. And understand that both of you might have different love languages. If you have the same love languages, glory to God. But understand that it may not happen. Maybe his love languages would be words of affirmation, but you don't care about words of affirmation. Maybe yours will be receiving gifts. So adjust yourself and understand that, it's not because that's your love languages that you have to do the same to him and he's going to feel love. It's not going to work like that. Okay. So understand him, get to know yourself, get to know each other on a deeper level. And of course, include God, always include God first. But I think that it's so important because these days, especially, back in the days, I found that a relationship where we're longer, if I could say, like you were dating for longer and then you were engaged and then maybe 1, 2, 3 years after you would get married. But these days, what we see is marriage happen faster. And me, honestly, I have no issues against that. I actually think that if God is telling you to do so, then you should listen to God and go at the timing that God tells you to go, because we have no we have no right to take control over that, right? Marriage is not for us first, it's for his kingdom. So whatever timing God has put in your life, then respect that timing. But all that to say, the fact that especially these days people are getting married faster, I think it's important to know the right steps and to do the right things before and get to know each other as much as we can. At the end of the day, you're truly never going to know each other right away, but it will come over time. But I just think that there's things that you should put I just think that there's things that you should put as a priority, which is getting to know each other, especially the love language. It's so, so, so important because it will save you. It will honestly, it will honestly save you. Okay. So, anyways, like I say, go online, do the quiz. Even if you're not reading the book right now, at least take the time, do the quiz, and just get to know yourself more. And even if you're not in a relationship, you can do that test. You can figure it out before you even meet the guy. So that way, when you meet him, then if he doesn't know about it, then you can make him take the quiz also and express yourself better. I just think that this is a conversation that can happen in whatever stage you're at. And even if you're already married and you haven't done that, then take some time. It takes you what, 5, 10 minutes out of your day. And it's gonna save you so many more arguments or, misunderstanding, like I said. So yeah, ladies, this is it for today, and I hope that I will see you on the next episode. So take care of yourself and have a blessed day.